Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the 157 show. Once again, my name is Jonathan. Sitting over here is Austin. You haven't won a game yet, so it's just Austin.
Yeah, it's the key word there.
Yet is the key word.
Yeah.
So we're rolling into the playoffs now. This is familiar territory for both teams, I think.
Yeah, this is some good postseason action.
Oh yeah, postseasons, bowl games, and all that good stuff's coming up. But before we even go all into that, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Y'all see it right there. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, and drop comments below. Let us know what you guys are thinking about these bowl games. And some of the games have already been canceled, for COVID reasons and all that stuff. So let us know what you guys are thinking about those. Who would have won what games and all that. But I mean, coming up earlier in this week is going to be Auburn going up against Houston, and I think this is I'm just going to go ahead and drop you I'm throwing it out there right away.
Okay.
And see, I've been wrong about a lot of stuff already. This whole season, I have been wrong. But I'm leaning towards Houston on this game, mainly because a lot of the guys. Well, I say a lot. Y'all's good corner is
Roger McCreary.
Roger McCreary is
He's
opting out. And I think they're just, I don't know. I think Houston's going to be ready to roll. I mean, number 20 in the nation, and Auburn's coming off of a heartbreaker.
Of November. No, it's not the Iron Bowl. This is November.
Well,
they didn't win a game in November.
Yeah, so I don't see. And
it's rough.
I'm just leaning towards Houston right now.
So it's kind of it's hard to say. So offensively, the offensive line for Auburn has been the weak point all year. You've got Berdarius Ham sitting out, which I think is the right tackle. You've got Nick Brom sitting out, which is going to be the center. So you have to bring those guys or bring their replacements in. You mentioned Roger McCreary sitting out.
Yep.
Finley stepping up because Bo Nix is transferred.
Is that a pun because he was hurt last time he was out there? He's
talking about
stepping up and
Moving on.
Anyway.
No, I wasn't punning that one, but good job on making one.
I was trying to. All right.
So I can see why you would lean towards Houston. Now, I think that Auburn is a better or more talented team. I think that they probably have more depth than Houston. But with the circumstances, I do believe it's going to be a closer game.
And that's kind of like why I was leaning more. You went a little bit more in depth with it, but that's kind of why I was saying I'm leaning towards Houston in the game just because.
I think the spread's only 2.5, so it's Vegas. Vegas is putting it as a close game anyway.
Yeah. Houston's at what? It's 9-4. That thing?
No,
they're 9-3. Something?
No, 11 and.
I didn't know if they was that far.
They've lost 2 games.
I tell you what, go ahead and fill in. I'll figure it out.
No, they lost to Texas Tech to start the season, and then they lost to Cincinnati in the AAC championship.
Right. Yeah, so I knew they lost that game. Okay.
They're 11-2.
All right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm picking Auburn to win. I'll go ahead and say it. So I picked them 24 to. Nope, I lied. 27-21 so I got wrote down here. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure. I think it's going to be some field goal kicking, and it's going to go in the favor of Auburn here.
I mean, y'all do definitely have a good kicker. I mean, that's Carlson's younger brother? Or am I wrong on that? Andrews?
He's out, though.
Oh, is he out? Okay, I didn't know. I knew he got hurt.
He got hurt.
For some reason, I figured.
As far as I'm aware, he's still.
I figured he was back. Back by now.
No, as far as I'm aware, he's still out. So the thing about Houston, I think they have a kick returner, or their special teams player that is the only player in FBS that has scored touchdowns on kick returns and punt returns. So Auburn's going to have to play strong special teams, which if you at least kick the ball to Auburn, they're going to block somebody in the back and have a penalty. So you got that going for you on that side of the ball. So
yeah, we'll I just to confirm on that, they are 11-2. Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah,
which. Just by looking at it, it's kind of like a mismatch. Auburn's at 6-6, and then you got Houston 11-2. But at the same time, it's a quote unquote smaller school
and
versus
that's where I'm having issues.
SEC power.
So if you look at the stat lines for both the teams, kind of averaging stuff throughout the year, they're kind of evenly matched. I know I'm sounding like a broken record. It's about the third time I said this season, but they're relatively closely matched. But the level of
competition is not the same.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
And with that, it's hard to gauge how good that they are or how good that Auburn is. It's hard to kind of pit them up 1v1 there.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
and see, Auburn has a good run defense. They got pretty stout. That's kind of where they win ball games and getting pressure on the quarterback, as we saw in the Iron Bowl.
Yeah. A lot of pressure.
But I'm not sure. I think that what their quarterback is going to have to do is kind of work those quick passes in and out and just kind of, work your way downfield. I don't think they're going to have a good run game established, but their quarterback likes to pass the ball, so it works out in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I know I said I was going to take Houston in the game. Now, I do think it's not going to be some major blowout. I think it's going to be a very competitive game. Like you said, they're very closely balanced teams, averages and all that stuff are pretty close. And you said the talent gap. I mean, there is a talent gap between a Group of 5 team and an SEC
By
school.
default.
I mean, it's just straight out the gate. But I do think Houston will come out a little bit fired up. You're going into early in the season. It's already announced. You're going to the Big 12. You're going to become one of these new powers and all that. And you're taking the spot of a team that's going to the SEC. So I think it kind of gives you some bragging rights a little bit.
Expect Houston to come in wide open in the first half and probably go into halftime with a lead. I'll say that. I think they're going to take the lead into halftime. But I think the talent and the depth of the Auburn roster will be what
I can see
what pulls it out in the end. So another thing to kind of foreshadow the season for next year.
Go ahead. Sorry.
All right.
I just muted myself before I did that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. We're good. Sorry, I wasn't sure if we're editing that.
No, you're good.
Yeah, we'll forget to edit it out anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Spoiler. So I lost my train of thought. Help me get back there.
You were saying spoiler, and then I focused on my cough there.
There we go.
I was focusing on my cough.
No, we're good. So with everyone opting out, and this is kind of the main point of kind of closing up my arguments here. With everyone opting out, the injuries, the transfers, everything that's occurring with the Auburn team right now, this team that's going to play versus Houston this week is not going to be the same team that played Alabama last month. This right here is foreshadowing Harsin's 2022 team.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on it.
Yeah, no, this is going to determine.
Keep an eye on your playmakers. Keep an eye on those younger players that step up, see what happens, and just kind of see what you're looking forward to next year.
Now, is Tank playing? I don't remember.
As far as I'm aware, he is.
As far as you were, okay.
Yeah, he showed up for practice.
I know in a couple weeks ago, he's somebody entered in transfer portal, and then he kind of backed off.
Yeah, they sold the idea, so apparently Harsin's got something up his sleeve, or Austin Davis, the new offensive coordinator. So
I figured, when I saw that, I said he's going back to Georgia, or he's going to Georgia, where he's from.
And that's kind of what the rumor was.
Yeah,
that was even last year.
No, don't get me wrong. I would, as an Alabama fan, I'd love to have him, but in the end, we ended up getting a Georgia Tech guy. He transferred over. That's supposedly supposed to be really good. So
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see how that rolls out. But
so I'm taking Auburn to win. I'm going to take them close game. I already said 27-21, but I do expect it to kind of be within a field goal, within a touchdown, Auburn's favor. Just for
I was going to say like a 28-27.
Yeah, the over/under is 51. So kind of pick your score there, pick your poison.
I'd say 28-27, something like that. It's going to go either way, really, with both teams being kind of close, averages, offense, defense, and all that good stuff. But I mean, I tell you what, I want to kind of shift gears here for just a minute. You said this team is going to be foreshadowing the 2022 team. It's already come out and been, said Bo Nix is transferring to Oregon. Mm-hmm. Do you see someone replacing Finley for next year, or do you think Finley's going to be the guy?
Based off of experience and him being brought in, I do think that Finley will be the quarterback of the Auburn Tigers next year.
And here's why I'm asking this is, to me, just by seeing him in the Iron Bowl and the way he played in what the heart that he kind of showed, I mean, he didn't play necessarily terrible, but he didn't play like the greatest either.
But Finley he's a big guy. He didn't give me that time. He's a big guy. He likes with Harsin and his schemes too, he likes to have those tight ends, the shifting around on the line of scrimmage. And that's kind of where Finley shines versus Bo Nix being able to extend plays on, with his legs.
Right.
So it's different abilities, and I think that Finley is a better fit for the offense than Bo Nix was.
Right.
But I do believe Bo Nix is a better athlete. So that being said, I think Finley's going to be the starter next year. But I will say I wouldn't be surprised if he got pulled and we see some Demetrius Davis next year, who's kind of been rumored to take a couple snaps in the Birmingham Bowl. He's out of Texas, freshman.
Okay.
So we'll see. And you got some,
and just think back. If only Malik Willis was there, that plays at Liberty now. If only Malik Willis was there, you probably would, it may be a totally different team.
Yeah, he was like a Heisman candidate.
At one point he's top notch from everything they're saying on forums and all that as far as being a pick to the NFL. They're saying he's on up there for one of the higher picks. Now, will he pan out? Who knows? But
Tell him.
I mean, just saying, just in the college ranks, though, Willis would have been the guy, I think, at Auburn if he would have stuck around.
But it's also
waited.
you got to think about who was developing the quarterback.
Oh yeah,
Quarterbacks
totally
never
different coach and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020. I don't agree with your assessment, but I can see the thought process.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I don't trust Gus to develop a quarterback just based on his track record.
well, I mean, just look what he did. Look what
Everyone's
Willis has done since he left.
Yeah,
I mean,
so.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, probably a lot of wasted talent with Gus there, but I mean, I don't want to necessarily blame Bo Nix for the way he plays. Yes, to me he's just an average quarterback, but he's also had 3 different offensive coordinators in his time that were there.
Yeah, so I mean, he had
His coach has always been on the hot seat.
Dillingham, and then you had Chad Morris, then you had Mike Bobo, and then obviously he's going to have a 4th one this year with going up to Oregon.
Yeah.
I can't remember who their OC is.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
But yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of them. Like, I don't necessarily blame him, but at the same time,
Oh,
I think he's just an average. He's just an average quarterback.
It's Dillingham. It's just the guy that's the connection. That's how he got to Oregon.
Okay,
yeah, I'm an idiot.
So either way,
I'll call myself an idiot. It's okay.
But no, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't necessarily put the blame on Bo Nix for his development, although
it didn't. I don't.
It can't. You can't. I mean, you can put some blame on him, but you can't play the whole thing on him because I mean he's been trying to learn different stuff the whole time he's been there. It's never been a consistent thing.
A consistent system.
Yeah. But anyway, we kind of shifted back a little bit. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
We've shifted gears. Now we're shifting back.
Yeah, shifting. We're downshiftting back into Alabama.
Now. So Auburn playing Houston in the Birmingham Bowl Tuesday at 11 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's such a odd time.
I'll be at work. I will not be watching it.
Same. No, I think there's gonna be a lot of orange and blue there.
It should.
I mean, it's right up the road.
I'm gonna be in Montgomery. I'll just step outside and see if I can hear the touchdowns.
It's literally just like an hour and a half up the road.
135 miles.
Yeah, it ain't nothing to travel up that way. And I mean, a lot of people in the South travel pretty good, for their team games. So speaking of traveling, Alabama arrived in Dallas. I had to think about that for a minute because I was going to say Miami. That's not right. Dallas for their matchup against Cincinnati. So far, neither team.
At the time of recording
this, neither team has had COVID out issues or anything like that. There's been multiple games that have been canceled or possibly rescheduled or just whatever.
Or you had to find a replacement like you did in the Gator Bowl.
Yeah.
So what's interesting talking about being suspending games, they're not doing that this year for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So the Final Four, those 2 games, if you don't show because
if you got
COVID,
you lost.
Forfeit.
Yep, you lost. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And I think me personally, I hope they play the games, all of them. It doesn't matter who wins or loses.
I hope no opt-outs happen either way so we can have a full-fledged ball game between
just imagine if how wild it would be. Just imagine a scenario if Alabama, Georgia, and Michigan all had COVID issues and Cincinnati is your national champion. It would be so
because I would have the biggest asterisk.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a big fat bold asterisk.
We're putting an asterisk right here.
Yeah, there's gonna be a big fat bold asterisk right there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But no, I mean there's a lot of games that have been canceled and all that, like we said. But I'm hoping we can continue to get these games in and played and really kind of have a good matchup all the way through to the end of the season. Yeah.
So let's kind of dive into the Alabama Cincinnati.
Where do we want to start? I will say this: Cincinnati, offense wise, they have a running back that transferred from Alabama, Jerome Ford. Who really, if he stayed at Alabama, would probably be starting right about now with as thin a depth that we're having. Their quarterback, what is his name?
Desmond Ritter.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
He does a good job on getting the ball out, and he can definitely use his feet and move around.
He likes to pass the ball, though, and I think that's where he's going to he's going to have to do some short, quick passes and work on it. And Alabama will too. I'm a big proponent of the short, quick passes, but he's going to have to be able to extend drives, especially on third down, like we talk about with Bryce Young.
They're not going to have much of a run game. Alabama is fourth in the nation, I believe, in stopping the run.
Now, to be clear, though, Cincinnati has a top 10 defense.
They do, and both. I think they got two really good corners.
They do
that are solid
both corners. So,
and don't get me wrong, they're going to be good. They're going to be very well up to the task, because Mitchie being out, and all that. That's kind of hurting us. We got some guys that don't necessarily play that often. They'll be starting. But from Nick Saban's comments, they have the younger guys have definitely stepped up.
Yeah. Well, also from Nick Saban's comments, he's worried about the secondary. So he has made point to mention to the media that the secondary, or the defensive backs, those two corners, are stout. They're good. They can stop the.
They can cover the guys that are there.
And with Mitchie being out,
the only thing I'm going to say about it is, will they be able to run with Jamison Williams for 4 quarters? That's going to be the main thing.
I think they're like, and we talked about the talent gap and how they're going to be able to run with Williams for the duration of the game.
Yep.
I expect Slade Bolden to have be able to step up there and nickel and dime them down the field, hopefully. Yep.
I can see that.
With Robinson kind of running the ball more. That way they can open up the deep threat with Williams.
Now, here's the thing that I'm thinking that we might do a little different, too, is we might put Williams in the slot. He's played like 26% of the snaps there from a graphic that I saw. That's the only reason I know this. The graphic that I saw is like 26 to 36% of the snaps.
Yeah.
He's been in the slot, and that would kind of create a mismatch there with linebackers or safeties and all that. Hopefully we can get him open and get him some catches and all that. Like I said, I don't know if these guys can run with him for 4 quarters, and that's going to be kind of a key thing to watch.
That and the battle in the trenches. So Alabama, huge offensive line, huge defensive line. So I want to see how this group of 5 that is going to be a Power 5 conference or Power 5 school here soon.
In the next couple of years,
I want to see how they stack up and how they win the battle or how they play the battle in the trenches. So that's going to be the key.
Now, I want to give credit where credit's due. Fickle has definitely coached these guys to their potential. I think that normally they're around like 40th in recruiting, so to get these guys up, Okay, so I mean, like 40, in the 40s area,
a little bit topper mid range.
Yeah, I mean it's not like very crappy people, but I'm saying they're not like top notch quality players that they bring in every year after year. So I mean, credit to them for coaching them up and getting them ready for for these kind of games. And I mean, they're the only FBS school that's going undefeated. I mean,
yeah. So
now, granted, they didn't play all the level of competition as everyone else.
Yeah.
And then the cards just so happened to fall perfectly for them to
with some last minute loss. Some chaos happened.
Yep.
So I think the key for Cincinnati is, and I've been kind of reading up on Ritter and how he plays ball. He's kind of been throwing some interceptions as of late in the second half of the season. So I think that's going to be a key thing to watch. You talk about watching the talent through the duration of the game, but I'm going to be watching Desmond Ritter and how he's throwing the ball. So if he can turn it over or avoid turning the ball over to avoid giving Alabama good field position, I think that they'll at least stay more competitive.
Right. And I will say this too. One reason why I think Cincinnati can be dangerous, this is their shot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're playing. I hope they're playing balls to walls, kind of like Harsin. Not Harsin, but
they literally
the
have nothing to lose.
When Boise State beat Oklahoma in that 2007 Sugar Bowl or whatever.
Yeah, the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. This is literally, they have no reason to be conservative at all.
This is their shot.
Yeah, I mean, and they're going to go out and try and make a statement.
Versus
the gold standard of college football.
Yeah.
If they were to beat Alabama, it would be a monumental upset. Even though it is playoffs, it would be a monumental upset. And I think with that, it would be Fickle would definitely he'd get paid, just for that reason alone. Even if they lose and keep it close, I think it's still kind of, he still gets paid. And I think they're going to get a lot more credit in the future if they can stay competitive with Alabama.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping for a good game, but I'm hoping for a big blowout win.
I think Alabama pulls away in the second half. And originally in our previous video, I talked about how they won't cover. Like I was going to take Alabama to win, but Cincinnati or Alabama not able to cover. I'm still kind of leaning that, but I could see them pulling away late. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Alabama, and I'm gonna take the plus 14.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not going to be any sort of betting wise on it, but I could see probably like a 38-24, something like that. You know.
I think they keep it closer than we anticipate.
Yeah, I mean, I take another key spot too to watch is Bryce Young with his feet again. You haven't seen a lot of him runs and all that, but the Georgia game definitely, showed his potential for running the ball and adding that threat of scrambling and making something happen with his feet. Now we've kind of known he can run, but he's never had to do it until the Georgia game.
Yeah.
So he was a difference maker, and he won the Heisman off that game. So hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. So you're taking Alabama to win?
I'm taking Alabama to win, and then this is just me. I'm hoping Michigan wins because I want to see a Harbaugh versus Saban matchup because I hate Harbaugh. So yeah.
All right. Let's do it before you die.
All right. Before I die.
It's the 157 show.
Yeah, this is the 157 show. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching, man. I'm losing it over here. Appreciate you guys watching, tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button. Drop a comment below. Let us know what you guys think about these upcoming games. It's going to be some good stuff, man. Definitely some good stuff. We're definitely going to try to get back on and get a review episode out for you guys pretty ASAP after that. And I know in the last couple of videos we've been saying, hey, we got some new things coming up for you and all that. And we do. We're just, holidays and all that stuff kind of put some, a little bit on the back burner, I guess. And also, Austin over here, he's trying to find him a computer to play with. And I just noticed, look above your head, the icon's right above your head. Like right in your head. I think it's after our little glitch a few minutes ago.
War Eagle.
Yeah, anyway. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. We'll see you guys next time. Roll Tide.
War Eagle.